should stop goofing around because I got a lot of shout outs to do today. I'm going to do the previous 2 videos. It is September 11th, 2018, 2:29 p.m. in the afternoon. This cartoon, 2 things about this cartoon. First off, is that I kind of feel really guilty that I did a bar scene 2 days in a row. I feel guilty that I did the TV thing 2 days in a row. Sometimes I'll go months without doing the TV theme cartoon, and then lately I've done a few of these. And it's always, sometimes it's kind of a cliche, and I had one cartoonist criticize me once. He was trying to give me some pointers several years ago. Don't do so many cartoons where people watching TV. And he had a point, you know. It's easy to fall back on. But that's also where a lot of people, well, it's what they do. People, just like me and you, they see everything on TV. Or the internet. But I thought about another way to do it, and then I just kept coming back to the whole TV thing. The other thing about this cartoon is that it has been deleted off of Instagram. Instagram deleted it when I went to the site today to see how many comments and likes and stuff it got. It had a couple comments that were just from the QAnon people going, that's what they said, really. So I might have had more before it was deleted, I don't know. Anyway, they deleted it, said it violated their community standards, and some kind of horse shit about inciting violence or harm to other people or something. I don't know if it was the Nazis or the so I don't know. But for all of those right-wingers and Alex Jones freaks who keep complaining about the media and social media's bias against them and stuff, they can all bite me. Along with the person who reported this. I'm pretty sure a left-winger did not report this. I know that there are some people out there who are on the left who are very sensitive and big crybabies about everything. But I really get the feeling that a left-winger did not, that a liberal did not report this. This cartoon took a little bit over 2 hours to draw. I would say about 2 hours and 8 minutes. No, I think it's more like 2 hours and 5 minutes, maybe. Or 6 minutes. I don't know. Let's give you guys some shout outs. Well, first, let me talk about this. Obama came back and gave a speech, then he gave another speech. And one of the things that he talked about a lot of really good stuff. And I had tweeted, hey, there's this black guy on TV talking in complete sentences and sounding all civil and eloquent and stuff. What's up with that? What the hell is this stuff? And a bunch of people retweeted that and commented on it. I actually had over 100 people like and comment on it, so that was kind of crazy and cool. All agreeing from people who miss Obama. Yeah, really, you're not used to this from a president. But one of the things that he said was, how hard can that be? Saying Nazis are bad. And Trump has responded, but not to the Nazi thing. He has not said Nazis are bad yet. In fact, according to Woodward's book, when Trump was pressured to criticize white supremacists and Nazis and neo-Nazis and junk after the Charlottesville thing, after he had praised them and said that both sides were to blame, afterward he told Rob Porter, his then staff secretary, before he was fired because of smacking women around, that it was the worst speech he'd ever given in his life and the biggest mistake of his presidency, and that he never should have apologized really about anything. He's never doing anything like that again because he didn't do anything wrong when he had praised the Nazis. Alright, let's get to some shout outs. We're going to do shout outs for 2 videos. This is episode 222, right? And so let's go to 220. And we're going to start with Arlo. Hey, Arlo. Talk about Ryan Gosling. I don't want to cover that part. I don't want to waste time talk about the movie, placing the flag. There is the flag. It's on the moon. They show the flag on the moon. Aliens didn't put it there, so why are people upset about it? Because they know that we Americans put the flag on the moon. Alright. And then talk about guitars. Yeah. Arlo had a 335 when he was younger. A used Gibson. You should have kept that guitar, Arlo. Or you could have given it to me. You should have foreseen in the future that someone like me would come along and you could have just given it to him. Here you go, here's your free guitar. Didn't do it. He talks about Epiphone makes a fine guitar. You don't have to buy mortgage a house to buy it. I bought my Epiphone like in the early 2000s, like 2002 or 3. At the same time, I bought my Fender Deluxe Reverb. And you're right, I didn't have to mortgage anything. It cost me like $400. Actually, $365. I remember that exactly. I got them down to $365, and I think it was brand new. I'm not sure, but I don't know if make them as good as this one anymore. I don't know, because I know that they moved the factory or to different factories and stuff. And Arlo had a Gretsch, and it was orange and electromagnetic. And of course, if you get a Gretsch, you got to be orange. That's what I think. Now all you guys out there going, her guitars? Robert Cotino would be willing to take a lie detector test for the Dietrich from Bernie Miller fame. I remember that one vaguely. I do. So, and the slow news today is when the president nominates President for SCOTUS, who is opposed to almost all senators from the Democratic Party, who will likely breeze through a book as they talk Washington, D.C. due to explosive revelations about the dysfunctionality of the White House. The book is backed up by an anonymous op-ed from White House insider. Finally, a devastating hurricane is heading towards South Carolina and a major city in Syria, witnessing possibly hundreds of thousands of casualties of war. That's a slow news day. Speaking about the hurricane, for the past few days, people have been messaging me and asking if I'm going to run from the hurricane and all this stuff. And we've had a couple here, even though I'm inland Virginia, like an hour south of D.C. But we've got them bad a few times to where they just like mess everything up. I sat through a bar one night on one. Picking up bars, back in my bar days. And I've been in the newsroom for a few. It's always fun to be in a newsroom during a natural disaster, which we have every day now. I wasn't really paying that much attention to the hurricane until yesterday when my housemate, the door knocker, went out and bought like 2 weeks worth of Sloppy Joes. I get really tired of Sloppy Joes. I need to go to the store too. I need to buy snacks and ice cream. They'll watch everything melt. So, but anyway. Arrow doesn't think it's a clumpy rush making the video so long. Otherwise, how would you explain your earlier 20+ minute videos? I mean, I'm not blaming it for making all the videos long. I just think it makes them longer than that video would have been. Like this one is 13 minutes. Maybe without the clumpy, it would have been more like 10 minutes. I don't know. Also, Arrow said I should get a recording, set up a recording light for my door. Just hang a sign on the doorknob saying something like "Go away, recording in progress." You can also write on the other side. If you put something like "Go away, have company," LOL. And I can't do this thing about saying I should do a tie on the doorknob for do not disturb getting busy. And Ariel said I should do the sock. I gotta tell you, girls, though, and if I put a sock on the door for one of those signs, they probably would come knock on the door and go, "Hey, you know there's a sock on your door?" Or if they thought there was a girl in here, they'd really come down there and say, "Hey, you got a girl in there? What's going on? Congratulations." Yeah, I don't think that'd probably make them knock. So, and Arlo kind of likes the life goes on style of noodling on the guitar, talking politics and art, someone interrupting, and that adds to the channel. No pretentiousness. Yes, we don't have any pretension here. And Arlo threatens to call me in the middle of the next one. I'm trying to sell a flute for a friend. Yeah, as silly as that sounds. He asked me to put it on, to research it, find out how much it was worth, and sell it. So I got it online, and this guy wants to come by today and look at it, but he wanted my phone number. And I know that's normal, but I wouldn't give him my phone number. I don't like people calling me. I don't like it. Don't like it. You know, we're not going to get through all these shout-outs. I don't think so. We got like 9 minutes left. I got all this clumpy going. As you saw, I redrew Obama. See, I'm looking at the other computer, reading all the stuff I need to shout out. And I'm not watching what I'm doing here. I do know Sandra Meyer asked me to turn the music down. So today I don't have the Epiphone, the 335 plugged in. I got into the orange amp. I got my acoustic. And I'm just playing soft and gentle. Like, she wanted to hear me more than the music. So I came to like the Nike logo on the helmet. Did I talk about what it takes to remove a vice president? What was the other one? Let me go look, see if there's anything there I need to give out real quick. Episode 221, which was the other bar scene. We got 14 comments here, but I'm not gonna go through them all, I don't think. Oh, let's talk about what does it mean having a left bar tab. I meant unpaid tab. I guess I should have put that instead of left. I don't know. It's like a left-wing tab. Your tab voted for Obama. I don't know. Akanta said that she enjoys the bar scenes. I like them too. They're just fun to draw. It's fun to draw people just sitting around getting wasted. I get to do little things. Like the stuff like the cigarette flying and the nuts and everything. I think that's the Chuck Jones in me. No relation, but just the influence. Because I used to watch those cartoons 1,000 times. And even as an adult, when I had it on VHS, I would stop and rewind little bit of parts, you know. Normal people were doing that with porn. I was doing it with Bugs Bunny cartoons. And you'd see these little details and stuff like that. Just little things flying. Like when that witch got on her broom, she took off. These hairpins would fly out of her hair that you'd probably have to watch 1,000 times to catch. Stuff like that. In the boxing ring, whenever he would fight somebody and he'd go way up into the crowd, and people would duck out of the way, a cigarette would be flying in the air. Just little stuff like that. Back in the 1930s or 40s, whenever they made them when people smoked, they could smoke in cartoons. Errol thinks that the woman who friended me on Facebook, the bot, was not a woman, but a guy. I'm pretty sure it was a guy, too. I guess we refer to it as a woman because it posed as a woman. In fact, I'm pretty convinced that every time one of those fake accounts messages me and it's some sexy woman, and this one wasn't sexy, which is one reason why I did it, and she actually had a bunch of politics on her page. Well, I don't mean she looked bad enough. I mean, it didn't look gratuitous, I guess, you know, with everything sticking out, and, you know, it wasn't an ass shot or something. And all her friends were just guys. That's another sign. But I am convinced that each and every single one of those is always a dude. Probably a dude from Estonia. A bot farm that's farmed out. Errol thought that the last cartoon with the people in the theater, they seemed pretty. They weren't phased by people having heart attacks, and someone should have said down in front. That would have been putting too much to do the cartoon, though. We're almost done with this, and I think I can't do any more shout-outs. I can't. Alright, here's your cartoon, folks. It is done. Go ahead and get angry with me toward Instagram. This cartoon is not that offensive, is it? Maybe for somebody named Gary. He's I do know a Gary who is a right-wing racist. He's also a cartoonist. But that didn't make it look like him. I'm not saying to name the cartoon after him. What a coincidence. Gary's a common name. Leave us a comment and subscribe to the channel. And come back tomorrow. And we'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.